Hi, my name is Luke. Welcome back to another video on this channel. Today I want to show you how you can create a trading panel for MetaTrader 5 so you can easily move your stop losses to break even and also partially close them. So let's quickly take a look at the panel first. I've already written the program and I will show you in the code in a minute when I've explained what the panel does. So this program is designed to enable you to select a trade that you want to modify. So for this example, let's use this short entry on Euro USD, which is 0.5 lots. Now let's say we want to close 50% of this position or half of this position, which means that we want to close 0.25 lots, securing half of the profit now. So we would type 50 into this box and then we click on partial close. And you can see now we only have 0.25 lots left. And if I do it again, we will be left with 0.12 lots. And we can do this with any percentage that you want to partially close. We can also say that we want to close 100%, which is obviously the entire position. So this is just a simple way to quickly modify your positions. Then we also have a break-even option. As of right now, none of these positions have a stop loss. But if we click the break-even button, you can see that for this position here, we get a stop loss. Obviously we cannot do it for the losing positions because then of course we will get an error as it's currently losing, so we cannot process the stop loss. But again, you can see that this is a very useful program and it's very easy to use. So now let me show you the code. Like I said before, I've already written the code in my MetaTrader and you can copy the code by simply pausing the video. Okay, so first of all, at the top of the code, we have a bunch of includes. We need these because we are using the controls library, which is a part of the MQL5 framework. You can find all of the classes in the controls folder. If you want to learn more about this and programming in general, you can also check out my website, mqlexpert.com. I will also leave a link in the description, and you will find a complete beginner's course on MetaTrader 5 programming, where you learn everything you need to be able to code programs like this for yourself. But yeah, after including all of the files that we need, so it's a bunch of controls for the controls in the chart and then the trade.mqh file. We need this because we want to process the trading operations. Then we have two defines for the trading panel. These allow you to easily change the look of the trading panel. So let's say, for example, I want to make it smaller. And you see now that the panel is slightly smaller. We could also say that we want the panel to be wider, and we would, for example, change this number. Now you can see that the panel has been stretched. Then we have a bunch of global variables. These are just the controls that we have in the chart. So this app dialog is the thing that allows us to drag the panel around on the chart, and then the box where we enter the percentage is called an edit. Then we have two buttons here, and also the list view, which is the part that shows you the current open positions. And these are what we see here. So we have the app dialog, the list view, the edit, and the two buttons here. And then in the onInit function, I've added all of the code to create the graphical user interface in the chart. So first of all, we create the app, which is again this app dialog here. We provide a bunch of coordinates as to where it should be displayed in the chart. This block here is for designing the app. So here we can set what colors we want the panel to be, etc. And then the next block is the edit. We create the partial close button and the break even button. We use the panel width and the panel height from the defines that are set here. This ensures everything stays working, even if we decide to change the panel width or the panel height. And then we also create the list. Then after creating all of those controls, we add them to the app. This is important if you want to make it draggable in the chart. So you can see I can drag the panel and everything follows. And then we run the app and we redraw the list. So the redraw list is another function which I will explain in a minute. But first of all, if we deinitialize the program, we call app.destroy, and this will pretty much just destroy the app and remove it from the chart. Okay, so now let's have a look at the redraw list function. The redraw list function is a very straightforward function. And first of all, we delete all of the content from the list view. Then we loop through all of our positions. We select every single position, and then we pretty much just check the properties of this selected position. And then we just add another item to the list, which contains the ticket, the symbol, the type, and the volume of the currently selected position. And then we redraw the chart. So the redraw list function is really just adding the content to the list. So let's go back to the last part of the onInit function. We don't need to use the onTick function as we don't need it. So next we have the onChart event function. The onChart event function is the function that captures all of the chart events. So first of all, we have to pass the chart event to the app. This is done by app.chartEvent. We provide all of these parameters. This is important because otherwise we would not be able to drag around the app like I mentioned before. So please don't forget about this part. And then also next we check for button clicks. So first of all, we check if the event that triggered the onChart event function was an object click. And if this is true, then we check if the S parameter, which holds the name of the object that was clicked. So it checks if our button close or button break even was clicked. And if it was one of our buttons, then we use a print statement to store information in the expert's journal. And then we just loop through all of our tickets because we have to find the position that is currently highlighted in the list view. And then we loop through all of the positions, we select every single position, and then we use the string find function to check the currently selected list view item to see if we can find the position ticket. As you can see, the position ticket is always part of the list item. So this is how we can find the position. And if we do find the position, then we create a trade object here because we will need to use it to modify the positions afterwards. And then we check again if it was the button close that was clicked or the button break even that was clicked. If the button close was clicked, then we get the percentage that is added as an input in the edit field right now. And then we check if there was a valid input because otherwise we cannot close the position. For example, when moving the stop loss to break even on a losing position, you can't do it. So then we calculate the lots that we actually have to close. We take the position volume of the currently selected position, we multiply it with the percentage from the edit, and then we divide that by 100. Then we round the lots to close. Then we use the position close partial function, which is a part of the CTrade class. And then we untick our button close so that it looks unclicked again on the chart. And if the onChart event function was triggered because of the break even button, then it's even easier because we just use the trade object immediately and say position modify. Then we modify the currently selected position and we set the stop loss to the position open price, and then we again unclick the button. And that's pretty much it. So that's how we deal with all the chart events. And the last function that is left is the onTrade transaction function. So in this function, we just check if a new deal was added to the history, which means that a position was opened or closed or partially closed. And then we redraw the list with the redraw list function that I explained before. And that's pretty much the entire program. So you can copy the code from here. Obviously, if I went too fast for you, then just go back to the beginning of the video and pause it where needed. I will also upload the file to my Telegram channel, which you can join for free. I'll leave the link in the description, and then you can download the file and play around with it. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, this was just a little introduction in how to create a partial close and break even trading panel. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.